What's up, y'all? It's your girl Firestarter here at the world famous Vertical Joe's in Atlanta, Georgia, and I had some questions. Y'all. So I wanted to, produce some answers. Today's actually been a pretty interesting day. As you can see, I'm a little bit in rare form. I had a drink somewhere around here. What am I doing with my drink? Is this my drink? Oh, okay. This might be my drink right here. Light weekend here at Vertical Joe's, but I had questions about how to successfully launch your own dance studio. And at first I didn't feel like I had any real answers or insight on that, because I really feel like I was somewhat of an accidental entrepreneur. Like it was something that just fell in my lap, something that God had blessed me with, but God doesn't make mistakes. So I started to really kind of hone in and pay attention to, things, that are going on. And hopefully some of my experiences can help you. Before, people asked me about consulting, and I felt like I was not in a position, to consult. And I didn't really know enough about what I was doing to consult. But I mean, now it's been 10 years. 10 years actually this weekend, which is why I felt it's so important to, make a video just kind of like talking to people, just to say, like, you can do it. You can achieve it even if you don't know what you're doing. I prefer you know what you're doing, but if you don't know what you're doing, you can do it. So before I get into it, let me show you my space. All right. So this is actually our Midtown location. All right. So the Midtown location is one of my favorite spaces that I've had. I've been probably through about 6 spaces since I've been open since 2009. So this space is really cool because it's inside of like a garage building. So you see, you have to come in through the door here to get to our space, which I really like that because just a little step and repeat right there. Yay! I really like that because we have really featured, had a lot of celebrities here at the studio. So it's been kind of cool because they like an elite space. So having the private garage and not being accessible from the street is a thing. When you first walk into the space, we have a store. So you see we got the store area, places that you can shop, mainly things that you need in signature Vertical Joe stuff. And then we have the Boom Boom Room, which I love so much. It has my very first stage pole in there. That stage pole is probably about since 2006, way before like X pole and X stages were a thing. This is our changing room, which is in here. Then we have a staff area that's on this other side. And this space is where we offer all of our aerial classes and stuff. Try to get a good view of that. It's a couple of poles there in what we call the P-Valley stage from a TV show that was shooting here. We built that around their set. All right. And you see we have hoops and we have silks, and then we have a stage area. Got to have the zebra wall because, our mascot is a zebra. All right. Then in here, this is our awesome pole room, which I love so much. We got 16-foot X poles. Of course, I'm an X pole snob. So gotta have X pole everything. We got 45 millimeter poles. And I love this space because it is an enlarged version of our old space. So if you see, it's 11 poles there. If you count the 2 that's inside of the P-Valley area, that makes 13 poles. Because we don't like to share poles in our studio. So generally when you take a class here at Vertical Joe's, you have your own pole. So that's our cool space. And the coolest thing about being here is that our neighbors have a dance studio space as well, which I love a lot because anytime we feel like we need more space, we can always go over there or rent from them and support them. So that's the thing. All right, cool. So to talk about what I was telling you, launching your own studio space, all right? And I'm going to give you this game because I feel like I owe it. I owe it to people to kind of talk about it. And I made some notes for you guys so I'm not just, winging it, talking about, you know, random stuff. I had to figure out how it happened and then kind of like, you know, put it in video form for you. All right, so again, the studio, our official grand opening was actually February 6th, which is coming up. Will turn officially 10 February 6th, 2020. But when I got my business license, keys to my space and all that good stuff, it was right after Thanksgiving weekend. So I feel so much energy and liberation for making it, you know, this far. I'm very thankful and grateful. All right, so how to start your own dance studio. Starts with finding a niche, a passion, something that you love. You can be a master of a lot of different things. When I first started, I actually was an aerobics director, so I taught so many different formats of exercise. Everything from dance fitness classes, I taught hip hop. It was pre-Zumba, but I taught something like a Zumba, which was kind of like Latin dance. I taught African dance aerobics. I taught whatever I needed to damn teach to give me a coin. Pilates, indoor cycling, like a lot of the formats that are popular now, I taught like in my late teens, early 20s. So the difference was a lot of the workouts that I started with kind of came and went, you know what I mean? Like it started, you know, one way, and then it was like, oh, bomb, like this is making money, this is cool, people are really into it. But then it was so much of a fad that you turned around and something else was hot. And if you were a smart fitness instructor, you had to get up on what the next thing that was hot. So in finding a niche means that it's something that is unique to you. And even if that kind of starts to fizzle out, you still have a specialty. So you got to find yourself a niche. Before, I think that gyms and studios had to offer like so many things. But now, if you notice, it's more like boutique fitness, as they call it, where you have a studio that's just indoor cycling or just pole fitness or just yoga, and it's working because they found a niche and they're really good at it. So you need to be like really, really dope at something to start your own dance studio for it. And you have to be so good at it that it doesn't matter if, you know, 10, 12, 15 more people pop up that have a similar niche, that people are still gonna wanna fuck with you. You know what I mean? So that's like a key thing. You have to own whatever your lane is that you have created. You have to be able to own it without bringing other people down, because you're just not gonna be successful if you don't have a way to do that. So that's like a key thing. If your success is based on tearing other people down, it's not gonna be a thing. Or if your niche is only makes you look good when other people look bad, it's not a thing. You have to find a niche that you can be good at it and this person's good at it as well, but it's enough dollars to go around and it doesn't affect you. All right? So once you find your niche, you need to study your craft. I know sometimes with pole, people are like, oh, I created this, I created that. That ain't studying your craft. That is almost like artist development and figuring out like who you are as an artist, but you need to study your craft. Like for me, if you like teach pole and you don't know who like pole pioneers are, or you don't have like you know, a favorite poler that you look up to, or you don't have like a mentor or someone that you can be a mentee to, or like everything is all about, oh, I created this, I started this. That's not studying your craft. Like you have to have a base. Nobody who trains in ballet or modern or tap says, oh, you know, like I made up this move and I don't know any of my, you know, founders or foremothers. Like I didn't spend a day in modern class without, you know, my instructor saying, oh, this comes from, you know, Catherine Dunham technique. We know, you know what I mean? Like there has to be people before you. You need to study your craft. That way, you know, you have like some background and some history, you know what I mean? Not just, oh, I'm doing this thing and I don't have any background on it. No other sport, or people don't go into like football and have no idea who's like, you know, the head, you know, quarterback, you know, here, there kind of thing. So it's important to study your craft and be knowledgeable. Lastly, building a following. So before you start a studio, find your niche, study your craft, and build a following. I put those all together because you need to have all three of those things, in my opinion, before you start. I didn't know I had a following, but I definitely had one. I had a lot of subscribers on YouTube when I first launched. That's how a lot of people found me. And then I also, because I had been teaching aerobics for so many years, whatever I was teaching, people was with it. They were like, oh, what we on now? What we doing now? Whatever I need to do to have arms like you, or have legs like you, or lift my butt like you, I'm trying to do it. So whatever you're into, I'm into. So when you have a following, as long as you show that your intentions are good and that you're supportive and your product is bigger than the money. You know what I mean? If it's about helping people and people become better, they're going to follow you. Building a following is a lot easier these days. I know that when I first came out, it was, MySpace was a thing, but MySpace wasn't really leading you into your business like that. Maybe towards the end, I know that I ended up getting a MySpace website and stuff like that, because it started to kind of pop off. But now it's a lot easier to build a following because you have platforms like Instagram and Facebook and those kind of things. So it's a lot easier to build a following. And it's easier now to build a facade. You know what I mean? On social media, you can be whoever you want to be. You might not be rich, you know what I'm saying? But you can appear to be rich on social media. You know what I mean? So it's a thing. So whatever you want them to see, you can start to build that. But build yourself a following, because if you don't have a following, when you launch your space, you're not going to have supporters. Your following, that's your support team. That's your support system. So if people aren't, following you, they're not going to spend their money with you. All right? So, boom. That was all number one. I know. All right, I got 10 things on here, so I'll move through them a little bit quicker, but I feel like number one is very, very important. All right, so number two, start small. Don't go for a big, crazy location, and keep your overhead low. I definitely think that sometimes you're in a position where maybe you can take on a bigger space, and maybe your credit is good, or maybe you have a sponsor, or maybe you have an investor. But it is very difficult to sustain a business when you start with too much overhead. So I remember, before I launched my own space, I was consistently renting from other spaces. Yeah, I don't own it. Yeah, I'm not in control of it, but when I leave, I leave. I get to go home. I get to get some sleep. I don't have to worry about what the space is doing. Furthermore, I just pay my studio rental fee. I don't have to worry about rent, keeping the lights on, those kind of things. And if my following is not as committed to supporting me, I'm not going broke about it. You know what I mean? When you get a space off top just because you can, or just because you can afford it, it's only a matter of time before it starts to really drain your pocket. So I really highly recommend starting off small. Don't be ashamed to be a space inside of a space, and then build your way up, build your clientele up, and grow. I can't stress that enough. Keep your overhead as low as possible. And don't feel like everything has to be perfect off top. I've watched dance studios grow. They might have started out, they didn't have no mirrors, they didn't have no floors, they just had a room and some music and some passionate dancers. And then you look again, and now they're getting more money, now they got mirrors. You look again, now they got flooring. You know what I mean? Start with your bare minimum. Now I will say, for a pole studio, students are a little bit more bougie than that. You're gonna need some floor and potentially some mirror. But I will say, I have been to studios that actually don't have mirrors at all, multi-million-dollar companies like S Factor, whose concepts don't even, they don't believe in mirrors, because mirrors make people look at themselves and judge themselves and things like that. So, if you got a motto like that, then you can work your way around it. But your supporters are going to work with you. And I actually think it's more impressive to start out simple. And then I almost like when my clients come in, they're like, oh shoot, we got a new sign, or we got a new light, or we got new walls. You know what I mean? I realize that you don't have to do everything off top, and you might not know exactly what you want to do off top. So giving it some time and space so that you can be in the space and work in it first, you can determine exactly what you want to do. So start small. Things don't have to be perfect. You don't need a super big location. You can keep a low overhead. Okay. Number 3, to partner or not to partner. Man, think about this. Like, really think about it, because partnering is so like serious. I haven't had a partner, guys, but that also means that I've had times where I've had to struggle and sacrifice so much of my personal life, my personal self, my personal money, and my personal energy, because I didn't have someone to share that, that with. Like, if I'm in a bind, I'm in a bind by myself. You know what I mean? And it's very hard and it's very difficult. Yeah. But, if you have a partner, you have somebody to share issues with. You have somebody to bounce ideas off of. You have someone to become creative with. And if things get rough on one person's end, someone else can pick up the ball, and vice versa. But at the same time, when you have a partner, sometimes partners, same as with other relationships, sometimes they grow apart and sometimes y'all grow together. So if you and your partner grow apart, just make sure that you have it laid out to where you can have a clean separation, where it's not messy. You decide exactly what you're going to do with the business and who keeps what of the business, so that it isn't something that stresses you out. Lastly, I suggest you not be smashing your partner. If you are smashing your partner, I shouldn't say smash. I mean, that might be a boo, and y'all might have started a business together. Yeah, I get all that, but businesses and money a lot of times cause a lot of stress in relationships. I've been there. I've done it. I highly recommend having paperwork in place, so that if you go your separate ways, it's no questions about what's happening. Like, if this was your brainchild and that's your baby, you need to have that laid out, so that if something happens, it's like, oh, well, this is mine and this is yours, and vice versa. If this was their brainchild, same thing. Or if you guys are going to be cordial and continue to be business partners, you got to make sure that you keep that together too, because it can get real messy really quickly. So I highly recommend that. But if you have the ability to move without a partner, I think that's like been like a great thing, because I will say this, my team of instructors, though they're not partners for me business wise, they are like my partners. Like, if I need something, they are so there for me. Like, they've pushed me through so much. When I felt at my lowest, my instructors have picked me up. So low-key, they are like my partners. And one of the reasons why I want to grow and expand and franchise is so that I can give my instructors what I have had, like a full revenue stream of something that they love and enjoy, that is outside of their 9 to 5. So if you have the right team, you probably won't necessarily need a business partner. But think long and hard about business partnerships before you do it. Okay? Number 4, don't quit your day job. Like, don't do that. Like, sometimes I know you want to dive in and you want to go for it, but the business, it ain't ready yet. And I know that it takes a level of commitment for it to be successful, but do not do it. Straddle the fence. Make your schedule make sense. Make as much money with your day job as you can. Make as much money as you can with your dance studio as you possibly can. But don't quit. Like, you need that money. You're gonna need that money, because poles cost money, floors cost money, bills pile up. You go through slow seasons. You go through high energy seasons. But you need a backup. I'm not gonna lie. Like, on a regular day, sometimes I'm like, damn. Like, as an entrepreneur, and I'm kind of a serial entrepreneur, but as an entrepreneur, I wish I had a base sometimes. Like, that's all I'm really working on now. It's like, I need a base. Like, I wish I had base pay. Like, knowing that you're going to go to this job and you're going to spend 5 hours there, and when you leave, you've made a certain amount for the day. Or I'm going to spend 8 hours there and I made a certain amount for the day. Like, that feels good to know exactly what I'm going to make on a daily basis. But in having a dance studio or being an entrepreneur, you wake up and that money is not in your lap. You got to go get that. You got to follow up on leads. You know, you got to make posts, you got to return, you know, emails, you got to answer phone calls. There's so many things that you have to do. So please do not quit that day job until you have reached a certain goal with your space and that you have created a certain amount of cushion for your space. Especially, it's different if you by yourself and you like super single. Yo, if you want to be like stuck on broke until or struggling artist status until your space evolves the way you want to, that's fine. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean you don't believe in yourself or that you don't have faith. It's just moving a bit more safely, because you need to have money to invest in yourself. And scared money don't make money, and no money don't make money. Okay, so you need to be able to afford your habit. So until your habit can pay for itself, you need that multiple streams of revenue. Do not quit that day job. I cannot emphasize it enough. I know you may be there fantasizing about dance routines and all of this stuff, or maybe you're missing gigs or bookings, but do not shift until you got that together. Trust me. As a studio owner, it's different. As a dancer or a performer or where you gig, that's different. When you own the space, you got so much to cover. You know what I mean? So don't do it. Highly recommend not doing it. All right, boom. Number 5, one of my favorites, build a team. Build a team. Now, I think that team building itself is a whole nother video, and it is something that I consult for. It's something that I feel so passionate about, and that I feel like a professional. Like, talk about team building, I can team build, baby. Listen, my instructors, I love them so much. They're so amazing. Hold on. All right, my instructors, I love them so much. They come from all walks of life. I mean, I have, doctors, lawyers, people who work for the IRS, people who work psych ward, psychology, nurses, teachers, and of course I have exotic entertainers as well, but all walks of life. And every instructor contributes something amazing to the studio. And the studio contributes something amazing to each instructor's life. Like, at the end of the day, your team, if you continue to build and nurture your team will continue to build and nurture the client. And then you continue this therapeutic system that everyone is receiving healing. You know what I mean? Because that's what we do. Like, we're really like therapists at the end of the day. Dancing is therapy, but team building is a thing. You cannot do this all yourself. I see so many studio owners running stuff alone, like running classes alone. How are you teaching 20 classes a week by yourself? Like, you cannot find one other person that can sub for you or share this load for you, or one person that sees your vision and is supportive of you and you're supportive of them, and you don't feel like they're trying to take something away from you or be you or become you. Like, if you can't find one person for that, you have to sit back and take a look at yourself for just a moment. Like, you have to make sure that you are comfortable and confident and giving out like the right energy to where you can bring someone else in and say, hey, like, this is my studio, you're amazing. And I mean, recruit people that are amazing, super dope, people that you can help develop. Don't be afraid for your instructors to be more amazing than you. Let them inspire you to be more amazing. But you need people that see your vision, and then you also need to see their vision. Like, what if they want to become like a professional dancer, or what if they eventually want to have their own studio? Like, these are conversations that you need to have in the beginning, because you need people that want to be a part of your team and a part of your empire. And if their vision is different, how can we work together so that my brand is built and then I can support your brand as well? You got to be willing to do that. You know what I mean? So team building is a thing. Like, and some people will stay a part of your team, and some people will will create their own teams, you know, and they won't always be under your umbrella, and you have to be okay with that. But at the end of the day, you are one person. You cannot do it all. You cannot be afraid to become to team build, and then you cannot be afraid when your team shifts. You got to know who to keep, you got to know who to bench, and you got to know who to trade. Okay, I don't do sports at all, but I look at it very, very similar. And a lot of times people tell you from the beginning what their agenda is. You just have to be honest with yourself. Like, oh, okay, well, this person eventually wants this, this, and this. I can support that wholeheartedly. You know what I mean? Or if you're like, you jealous and you kind of low-key crazy, you need to, you know, be honest with yourself all the time. Like, oh, hell no, I can't help you with all that. Like, I'm not even gonna hire you to begin with. Just start from scratch somewhere else. So just be honest. Have yourself a good team. Have yourself an amazing team. Like Team BJ's, I could never ask for a more amazing group of individuals. I mean, our old school team was bomb. Our even people who have come and gone from Vertical Joe's, still amazing. Like, still amazing, still cool. Don't ever burn a bridge, you know what I'm saying, with anyone. You know what I mean? Even if they motherfucking crazy, don't burn a bridge with anyone. It's just not worth the energy. All right? So number 6, find some software, get a website so that you can get paid in advance. Now again, this is another video, but with what we do, you need to figure out how to get paid in advance for what you do, and to create potential memberships for what you do so that you're getting money consistently. Find software that works for you. It's so many different scheduling apps and options. Now, I will say this. I used to use MindBody, and I used MindBody for probably about 8 years. I probably was one of the first few people using MindBody here, and after a while, I feel like they didn't value me as a long-term business customer. For example, like Massage Envy, I've been with Massage Envy probably for about 8 years. I'm talking so fast. I've been with Massage Envy probably for about 8 years, and they continue to value me and grandfather me in for, you know, new services and things like that. I get the OG rate. But MindBody, I felt like they just kept on putting new features in and doing this, or they take the same package that I had and then increase the price and say, because we added new features. I don't want them damn features. You know what I mean? So I really became very irritated, and I joined a new software company called Team Up. And Team Up has been like the best, but MindBody did not make it easy for me to switch over. It did take a lot of time, but Team Up has been the best. I have no regrets. I'm so happy I made the switch. So if there's anyone that's had MindBody that wants to switch to Team Up or give it a free trial, like a 15-day, they have a free 15-day, no, have a free 30-day trial. If you want to give it a go, you know, I am happy to assist with that because it's a difficult transition. But all that to say is find software. And when you find software, you need to stick with it, because your clients get used to the registration process a certain way. And if you're flipping flopping from, oh, Cash App, oh, PayPal, oh, this, that, it becomes confusing. And when people become confused or things aren't convenient or easy for them, they start to go another direction. So find some software that you can trust. Something that makes your system for class signups easier, and make sure you're getting paid in advance, because people's schedules change all the time, and you don't want to end up with the short end of the stick, because if they're taking up spaces in classes and then they're not paying in advance and then they're not showing up, you're taking the loss. So you want to make sure you're getting paid in advance for your sessions. Okay, we're almost there, guys. I know it's been a long video. I don't think I've ever done like a sit down video this long. I'm always like polling or shaking my ass or something. But yeah, you know, I got some other questions, so I was like, I guess I'm gonna have to talk a little bit. All right, bet. So number 8, launch a partial schedule and launch a soft opening. When you first start, you do not have to have a full schedule, especially if you are keeping that day job or that main job. Start a partial schedule. It's fine. Have those classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday from this time to that time. Build it up. Then add Tuesday, Thursday from this time to that time. You feel me? And have a soft opening. You'll be surprised how many people are supportive of you. The soft opening can have all kinds of, gifts, prizes, raffles to get new faces into the door for people to bring their friends out. And furthermore, the soft opening is to really put out there like, hey, we on a special schedule. Here is our location. Here is where we're at. That way people can say, oh, okay, yes, this is what it is. This is where they are. I'm going to support them. This is when they're open. We are small businesses. So people are very understanding about special hours and special schedules. If it is good for them, they're going to, get in where they fit in. If it's not good for them, they're going to come occasionally. But at least you are not, inconvenienced by having to have all these classes and nobody's in the classes. You know what I mean? Or the classes aren't making money. And that's how you go broke trying to pay instructors. Don't do that. Have a special schedule. You know what I mean? Let those classes bust at the same. I don't care if it's a waiting list, if it's this, it's that. That's fine. Let the wait list do what it do and then expand. Soft opening is everything. Do a soft opening first. Let people know who you are and where you are, okay? All right, boom. Number 9, launch a full schedule and have a grand opening. Listen, do not have a grand opening unless you got all your shit together. Like grand opening means like the space is ready. Grand openings means you have generally everything that you want in your space, and furthermore, you have the schedule that you want and your instructors in place. Grand openings, in my opinion, means you got your shit together. Like if somebody comes to a grand opening and they're asking questions, you should have answers for everything. It should not be a question. And make your grand opening like lit, like, invite some local celebrities. Everybody has a celebrity friend or two. Invite some local celebrities. You know what I mean? Talk to your friends that own businesses or catering services, something. Get some stuff sponsored. Have like some food. Have like classes. Have a mini showcase. And at the grand opening, excuse me, let me go back to soft opening right quick. At the soft opening, get lots of video, get lots of promo videos, things that you can use later to promote what you're doing. At the grand opening, make that shit make people say, dang, I wish I had gone to that grand opening. It looks amazing. And have deals and specials that you're not gonna get no other time. You missed the grand opening, you missed it, honey. This was it. This is the only time we're doing this deal, or the only time we're doing that deal, okay? Super duper important for that. All right. So, number 9. Ooh, are we ready for number 9? Hold on. Listen, let me tell you what's gonna crack up about number 9. Number 9, I done wrote number 8 twice, y'all. So that means that launch full schedule, grand opening, I done wrote something twice. Wait a minute, hold on, let me make sure. Find a niche, study craft, build a following. 2, start small, no location, no big location, low overhead. 3, so partner, not the partner. Okay, I'm doing good. 3, what's the partner, not the partner? 4, don't quit your day job. 5, build a team. 6, find software website, get paid in advance. Ooh, 7. Oh gosh, I skipped 7, guys. How could I do that? It's one of my favorites. 7 is start promoting, have promos and freebies. Oh my goodness. So before you launch your partial schedule and your soft opening, you're going to have promo classes. This is free or discounted classes where it is understood I'm going to film the hell out of you so that I can promote to other people what it is that I'm doing. Put it all over IG, put it all over Facebook. You gotta have promo videos. Sheesh, how did I skip that? It's one of my favorites. So start promoting, start pushing. That way when you launch the partial schedule, you have human beings in the class. And when you have the soft opening, you got human beings in the soft opening. Okay, boom. And then number 9, launch the full schedule and have the grand opening. And number 10, get yourself some Google reviews. Get yourself some Google reviews and referrals. So important. People look at Google reviews every day. People will Yelp you and Google review you to find out more about your business. When you have these people that come to your soft opening and come to your grand opening, send them a link. Say, hey, can you just drop me a Google review? Let them talk about their wonderful experience online so that other people can have some respect on your name when they come to your space. Okay, and referrals is key. Have a grand referral program. Make sure people feel valued. If they tell a friend that tells a friend that tells a friend and they come to your space, make sure that you have a beautiful incentive. And it doesn't have to a lot of times, I would say this, I have noticed that my clients, they ain't broke. It's not about the money. It's about the appreciation. So love on them. You know, give them free things, give them free opportunities, clothes, wardrobe, that kind of thing. Give them like an incentive, something that makes them feel valued, because everybody's value is slightly different. Okay? All right, so that's it, guys. Whew, I feel like that was a lot. I mean, I wrote that out. I didn't know it was going to be that extensive, but I really hope you enjoyed that. I hope that this information helps someone. We know it's a lot of other steps, like, you know, getting business licenses or getting certifications or getting qualifications or building codes and clearances. We know about all that stuff. That's a bit different. And like I said, I am happy to consult, you know, or mentor, but I can't consult or mentor like everybody. It has to be like select, you know, people. And I'm happy to help, but I feel like with us, you know, turning 10, I just wanted to share this because I did all these things and had no idea that I was doing it, or had no method to it, and had no full business plan about what it was that I was doing. I just started doing stuff, and I just winged it, and now it's 10 years later, and I have 2, you know, wonderful locations here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm on, you know, the journey to franchise my business. So that's it. How to launch your dance studio. You know what I'm saying? Drop me a little comment. You know, let me know how you like the video, or whatever. Ask me any questions that I can, you know, respond to. If you are on IG, make sure you follow Vertical Joes. It's big as hell behind me. Okay, follow Vertical Joes so that, you know, we can, you know, support each other. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. I super appreciate you guys, and I'm gonna go home and eat some leftovers, you know. So bye, buds. Talk soon.